Hello friends at 125 Live. I am Joyce, and today I'm going to move us through several gentle movements for the upper body to open up, relax, bring in more movement. Let's start with a full body stretch. You can do this either from a chair or lying on the floor on your mat. We're stretching through the arms, through the hands. We're moving the hips and the shoulders back and forth as we extend the legs, stretch through the toes, circle those hips, those ankles and those wrists, wiggling the fingers and the toes. We're moving the hips as well as we bring ourselves back into an easy seated pose. We're then going to just hug ourselves naturally, whichever arm comes on top. We're squeezing as we're pulling those shoulders forward with the hands, bringing some side to side motion, forward and backward motion, limbering up that spine. We release the hug, aware of which direction our arms are in. We unhug and re-hug with the opposite arm on top, pulling in that wonderful opening, moving through the hips, gentle movements with the neck, the whole length of the body, just some motion. Beautiful. As we release the arms, we're going to bring them just far enough so opposite hands are clasping opposite elbows. We can do this lying on the floor with our back pressed into the mat, or seated in our chair, again with the back pressed into the back of the chair for stability, and to know that we're going to keep that torso pointed forward. So we inhale with our arms right at center. As we exhale, we move those arms as a unit off to one side, keeping our gaze forward. We can gently pull with the fingertips against that elbow to increase the stretch just a bit more. We take a full breath cycle here. We're then bringing those arms back to center. With an exhalation, we move the arms in the opposite direction, keeping the torso pointed straight ahead, bringing those fingers to the elbow and stretching just a bit, feeling some wonderful opening through the upper back between those shoulder blades. One more time, each side, coming through the middle, finding that stretch, keeping the spine long, back through middle, off to the opposite side, coming back to center, releasing the arms, and we've brought some nice warmth and movement already into the upper back and chest. We're going to move into releasing the shoulders. Choose to make these first shoulder circles either forward or backward. Listen to what feels good to your body. Begin with just one shoulder, starting with some smaller circles, and then making them larger and larger. And it's perfectly fine if the rest of your body doesn't stay just still. If our rib cage is getting into the motion, if our whole waist is getting into the motion, that's just great. We're looking for healthy sensations as we move through these movements and poses. We pause and then move that same shoulder in the opposite direction. Small circles, larger circles. Another option is to be bringing your fingertips to that shoulder if that facilitates the motion for you. And we pause on that side. We find our balance again. We can bring the opposite hand to grasp the chair seat if that gives us some more stability and allows us to focus on the movement even more. Opening, opening. Doing one side at a time allows us to be a bit kinder to our neck. And we go in the opposite direction. Opening, opening. Now we're going to bring more movement into the spine by moving through a seated cat-cow sequence. If you want and are comfortable, go ahead and find your table pose on the floor or on your mat and do the typical cat-cow. For those of us in chairs, we're bringing our hands to the front of our knees, and we're applying some pressure with our hands against the knees, allowing us to more easily pull the chest forward, opening through heart center, gently angling the head toward the ceiling, and then on an exhale, completely opposite movement. Chin comes toward the chest, shoulders come toward one another in the front, the back of your body presses toward the back of your chair in our angry cat pose. Opposite again, and we can hold each pose for a breath or two, just enjoying the opening, enjoying the stretch, keeping space between every little bit of our spine. We come back around in the opposite way. As we're ready, we open again, and we'll complete this set with rounding to the back. Chin toward the chest. We bring ourselves back to our upright position. Again, sits bones are firmly into the chair or the floor. If you're on your hands and knees, you have those knees pressing firmly into the floor. We're going to move into our barrel roll. So we're sending the chest or the rib cage first off to one side, then around to the front like our cow pose, then to the opposite side, then to the back as in angry cat. So we'll be making those circular barrel rolling motions. Hands can be at the hips, on the thighs or knees, or on your chair. So here we go, off to one side, coming to the front, off to the opposite side, and to the back. These are slow and mindful movements. We feel the spine opening and stretching in so many directions. The rib cage opens as well. Everything is warming up. We bring ourselves back to center, and we go in the opposite direction, finding those rolling motions for your barrel. And who knows what you may have in that barrel. And hopefully it's rolling downhill and you're not having to struggle rolling uphill. And we come back to center. We rebalance our bodies. We're going to find a gentle stretch and twist. So we're breathing the hands overhead. We're exhaling to one side, allowing that hand to come down and just let gravity pull it down, or grasping the base of the seat of our chair. We're finding that stretch through the side body and through the armpit. Our arm can rest just dangling overhead with gravity facilitating the stretch. An option is to engage that arm, energize that arm, making it very active all through the length of the arm, through the hand, through the fingertips. We then inhale ourselves back up, and we find that same side stretch on the opposite side, maybe grasping the seat for stability, allowing gravity to use this upper arm for increasing the stretch, or actively bringing stretch and energy through the arm. We inhale back up. We're going to send our arms long out to the sides, and we stretch first through one side. If you're fine with your arms out like this, that's great. Another option is to bring stability to the body by grabbing the base of the chair. We come back through midline, stretch in the other side, option of grabbing the chair. We're going to do one more set on each side. Stretching, 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 back to center. Let's may be a small movement, it may be a larger movement. We get a little gentle massage to the glutes as we move through. We bring the hands back to the thighs. We prepare for our twist, breathing the hands overhead. We turn gently toward the right as we bring the hands to the outside of the right thigh. We allow those shoulders to drop, and with gentle pressure of the hands against that thigh, we facilitate a twist. Our spine is long and tall. The twist begins at the base of the spine, works its way up through the length of the spine, turning the head last. With an inhalation, we think about lengthening the spine, bringing that head closer to the ceiling, and with an exhale, maybe moving into that twist just a bit more deeply. Very gently, we release the twist, bringing the torso around to center. We inhale the arms up. We exhale the arms down as we begin turning the torso toward the left side. We drop the shoulders with gentle pressure of the hands against that left thigh. We find the twist on this side. Breathing in, stretching tall. Breathing out, enjoying the twist. Realizing a healthy sensation for the body, very gently bringing ourselves back around, rolling out the shoulders, doing any movement we need into the upper body, making everything feel alive and awake. Next, we're moving into our torso circles. Some options for our hands, either at the hips, on the chair, at the knees, and choose a direction that feels best to you and just start circling. The weight of your body shifts between the different sides, so you're feeling that massage on the glutes against your chair or against the mat if you're seated on the mat. We're keeping our spine long. We're making those circles larger and larger. Perhaps we take a moment to scoot the body closer to the edge of the chair, giving us more movement for those circles. As we complete the next circle, we can pause briefly and begin those circular motions in the opposite direction, making them larger and larger. Noticing any difference in going one direction versus the other direction. Let's complete one more amazing circle. Come back to midline. We breathe the hands overhead. And we exhale the hands past the face, down to heart space, and to our thighs, palms up or down. We find a very stable pose in our chair. Maybe we have something under our feet so that we're not straining to reach the floor. We're going to focus on our breath now that all of the rib cage and torso area have been loosened up and warmed up. We're going to take great advantage of that while we breathe. Go ahead and close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. If you like, bring hands to each side of the base of the chair for some support and stability. We're sitting tall, our face is very soft. Eyes can be opened or closed. And I'll move us through a 4-count breath pattern. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. 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 Continue yourself, and as you're moving through the breath pattern, if you need to lengthen the time or the count or decrease the time or the count, whatever works for your body, go right ahead and do that. It's your body we're bringing the healthy sensations to. Go ahead and focus also on your lower abdomen as you inhale and exhale. Also the center of the rib cage, what's happening there, and your chest. Notice all the biomechanics that are happening as you bring in that wonderful oxygen and as you exhale what your body no longer needs. Go ahead and stay right here, breathing and relaxing. I am going to thank you so much for being with me in this short upper body movement and breathing practice. I hope it has brought you both relaxation and energizing. It's a nice mix of an energizing calm or a calm energy. And may you take that with you through the rest of your day. Namaste.